Ladies and gentlemen, in this episode of Lambvinskis Garage, we are going to be building a 1978 Dodge D100. And we will have this metal car trailer to be hauling our 1964 Dodge 330 Superstock. You're watching Lambvinskis Garage. Let's get it. This kit from MPC came out probably 6 or 7 years ago at least, and I've had it at least that long and just haven't been able to build it or had the time until right now. What's really cool is this one comes with a mini bike and a whole bunch of different options you can do. She's got a small block and, you know, just a bunch of stuff. But let's get this thing opened up and I'll show you what's inside. This truck also comes with quite the decal sheet, but just from looking at it, this looks like quite the quality model. We got our cabin bed, we've got our chrome tree with lots of chrome options. I really like the slot mags and the chrome wheels and all that good stuff. Got our glass. Looks like our mini bike parts and wheels and all that other good stuff. The cab pan, and there's our mighty 318. And then we've got our decal sheet, which we can't see, but there's a really cool decal sheet in there. And what else is in here? Oh, and tires. We can have thin white walls or just straight black tires. I think I'll be doing just the straight black tires with the slot mags. And then, of course, our instructions. The first order of business that these instructions say to do is to actually assemble the wheels. But we're not going to do that because I'm not entirely sure I don't want to use the steelies and hubcaps until, you know, we get there. So, our first order of business will be assembling the engine. And this time I would like to do something a little different, maybe go a little more in detail with my engine. So I have this, a pre-wired distributor. I'll have to drill out the back there and get this to slip in, but we'll try to make it the correct firing order and have plug wires on this bad boy. Well, under a little further inspection, I realized this isn't a small block, and it's actually a big block. This could be a 400 or a 440, but 1978 was the last year for the big block in pretty much all Mopars, other than maybe, like, RVs and that kind of stuff. But anyways, that doesn't change what we're going to do. This is still going to have plug wires, and it's still going to be sweet. The engine is assembled and it's getting later in the night, so I think I'm going to call it and just let it dry for a while. But we got chrome valve covers and a chrome carburetor and all that good stuff. So next step will be painting and then assembling the rest of the chrome. And then on from there, we got to pick a color to make this thing, and I don't know what I want it to be yet. This engine came out great, and you know, I just really don't like Mopar blue on the big blocks. It's just, for me, they gotta be orange because they're just sweet. So, my story is, the guy built this 440, he's got chrome valve covers, he's got a nicer intake manifold, nicer carburetor, and we're going to be wiring up that distributor. We've got power steering and alternator and all that needs to go on once it's dry. But, yeah, this thing's coming along pretty great so far. I also got the chassis mostly assembled while I was waiting for the paint to dry, and that was just kind of monotonous stuff. Getting the front end in and the rear end and the exhaust, and then we'll paint all this, and then we'll get to putting her together. I still haven't decided on a color, but I'm heading to town in the morning, and we'll see what I can find there. I have spent the last few hours on this engine doing all the plug wires, that dipstick there, and you know, I think I'm just going to call that good enough, because, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I even put the old coil up there, too, and put the fan on and got all that. So, this thing's ready to set in the chassis once it gets painted. I got the belly pan and frame and all that painted now, and like an absolute buffoon, I forgot to record it. But anyways, I'm just going to let this dry for a while, and then we're going to start the detailing process on the underneath. I have put the wheels and tires on just because I could not resist what they would look like. But this is going to be getting detailed while I go out and go paint this, well, prime the rest of the body, and then everything will be detailed then while we're waiting for that primer to dry, and then we can shoot some paint on it, and then really we're not that far off. Well, that worked good. Well, the undercarriage has been painted, and, you know, this is a fairly new pickup at the time, so it's shinier than I kind of wanted, but she's got a little bit of weathering here and there, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of grime, a little bit of rust, but, you know, I think it'll be okay. We've got our yellow Monroe shocks, but for some reason I really like those, so that's what all of my cars are getting. Anyways, yeah. And now it's time to go paint the body of the pickup. Well, I went to the hardware store and this was the best looking green that I kind of wanted and that looked good. Yeah, that's about all I know about it. So I've never used this brand before, so we'll see how it does. Well, things are coming along swimmingly here. I've got the engine put in, I've got the firewall on and detailed a little bit, and I completely finished the interior, which I hand detailed and did all this and that, and different washes and stuff, and I think it turned out okay. I'm not super happy with it, but I don't think it looks that bad. Anyways, I'm just waiting for these windows to glue in so I can put the body on the chassis and then just do a little bit more finishing up. I got the radiator to finish painting, and I got some more touch up and all that kind of stuff, so let's get to it. Alrighty, I am really close to finish on this 1978 Dodge pickup. The last thing I really have to do is put on decals, and I think I'm going to be going with that white Dodge decal, an American flag, the custom 100s, and I think we'll just save the rest for some other stuff someday. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be all for this fine 1978 Dodge D100. We've got it all painted, assembled, the decals are on, and you know, I'm not super happy with all the fit on this thing, but it did turn out pretty nice. Don't look too closely because you will see what's wrong. But otherwise, it doesn't look that bad. I'm fairly happy with it. Could it be better? Absolutely. But this is the second model I've built in who knows how long, and you know, I'm fairly happy with it. So anyways, let's get this wrapped up. I almost forgot that I said I was going to be setting up the trailer too, so we could haul this Color Me Gone 1964 Dodge 330. So there that is. That looks pretty nice, and I am pretty happy with that. It looks good. I need to build a hitch for it, but I can do that another time. Anyways, this guy's got his nice hauler to haul his nice race car now. So, let's get this wrapped up. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how this came out for my first pickup I've ever done as a model. But, like I said, some of the stuff, like my belly pan was warped and I had to heat it and move it, and you can see that the bed isn't quite right. The cab isn't quite right. It really doesn't look as bad in person, but man, on the camera you can really see that those body lines don't line up. But the cab was a little warped too. I think it was just what I got. But anyways, there is a mini bike and a whole bunch of tools that come with this, and I'm just not in the mood to do them right now. I'm just kind of done with this model, and I'm happy it's done though. But if you like this video, if you could like and subscribe and share with a friend, I would appreciate it a lot. Also, if you would comment what you want to see built next, either the B-52, the L700, the ramp truck, the Dukes of Hazzard car, 70 Hemi Cuda, GTX, the Daytona, or that Typhoon, maybe the B-52 again, who knows? Either way, whatever you'd like to see, comment it down in the comments. And, you know, that's about all I have to say. So, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.